Most people don't know these four things about Roth accounts, whether it be a Roth 401k or a Roth IRA. If you do know these things, I'll consider you an expert. But the good thing is if you don't know them, you'll be an expert by the end of this video. By the way, if you have kids and you're watching this, you'll want to make sure you stick around to the fourth one. Hey everyone, my name is Jake Skellhorn. I'm a certified financial planner. I own Spark Wealth Advisors with my partner Chris here in Florida, where we help people plan for retirement all over the country. If you learn anything in this video, do me a favor and let me know by liking it, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel for any future videos. So the first thing that I see people get wrong or just don't know about Roth accounts is that there's no income requirements to contribute to a Roth 401k. So there are restrictions on who can contribute to a Roth IRA, which I'll touch on in just a minute, but if you have access to a Roth 401k, Roth 403b, whatever it might be through your job, then you can contribute to that no matter what your income is. Now, if you're in a high enough tax bracket to where you thought you could not contribute to it, then it may be more beneficial to contribute to a pre-tax account anyway, because you'll save more on taxes today and ideally withdraw at a lower rate in the future. But only Roth IRAs are the ones that have income restrictions. So Roth IRAs have what's called a phase-out, an income phase-out. If you're single in 2024, the phase-out is $146,000 to $161,000. Meaning if you make less than $146,000, you can contribute up to the annual maximum, which is $7,000 per year, $8,000 if you're over age 50. If you make more than $161,000, you can't contribute anything to the Roth IRA. And if you make somewhere in between, you can make a partial contribution. If you're married filing jointly for 2024, those numbers are $230,000 to $240,000 in adjusted gross income. So again, just because you can't contribute to a Roth IRA does not mean you can't contribute to a Roth 401k. Now, if you are above the income phase-outs to contribute directly to a Roth IRA, you may be able to do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA, which won't go into too much detail in this video, but is essentially doing a non-deductible contribution to a traditional IRA, which anybody can do regardless of income, and then converting that to a Roth IRA to essentially get around those income restrictions. You would definitely want to speak to a CPA or a tax advisor or a tax-focused financial planner to make sure this is done correctly. One of the things that can go wrong is that you encounter what's called a pro rata rule, which basically means if you have any pre-tax dollars in that traditional IRA that you're contributing to first, or any other traditional IRA, when you convert it to the Roth, part of that conversion amount will be considered taxable. So again, definitely speak to a professional if you do want to look into a backdoor Roth IRA, but that is one way that you can contribute to a Roth, if not directly. And the last thing to note on this first topic is that there are no income restrictions that dictate who can convert money to a Roth IRA. So if you have pre-tax money in a 401k or an IRA, the IRS will never stop you from converting that to a Roth IRA because they will happily collect their taxes on it. Second thing, and I think this is the one that the least amount of people know about, is that a non-working spouse can contribute to a Roth IRA. As long as you're within the income limits, your spouse does not have to have their own earned income to contribute to a Roth IRA. So again, for 2024, if your adjusted gross income and married filing jointly is less than $230,000, you can make a full contribution for your spouse to their own Roth IRA. So I see this all the time. People think that just because their spouse is a stay-at-home mom or whatever it might be, that they can't contribute to their own investment accounts, but that's simply not the case. This is a huge planning opportunity that I come across a lot with married clients, being able to contribute that extra $7,000, $8,000 or so per year into a Roth IRA to build up that tax-free bucket when they need it later. Third thing that not a lot of people know about or understand about Roth accounts is when you take a withdrawal, it follows a certain hierarchy. So money in a Roth 401k or IRA falls into one of three buckets. You have your contributions, which is the exact dollars that you contributed to the account. Second bucket is your conversions, which would be any money that you converted from a pre-tax account like a traditional 401k or IRA. And then the third bucket is going to be your earnings. So all of the investment growth, interest, and dividends that came from the investments earned on your contributions and your conversions, those are the third bucket. The IRS decides for you, and in a good way, where your money comes from first out of those three buckets when you make a withdrawal. So the first bucket that is withdrawn from is contributions. After that's fully depleted is your conversion bucket, if you have one. And then after that's depleted would be your earnings. So the reason I say this good thing is because your first bucket is going to be the most tax friendly and your last bucket is going to be the least tax friendly. So if you take a withdrawal from your IRA and you have money in that contributions bucket, it's not going to be subject to any taxes or penalties. If you have any money in the second bucket, a conversion may be subject to a 10% early withdrawal penalty, since any money that you convert from a pre-tax account has to stay in that Roth account for at least 5 years before that withdrawal is subject to a penalty. But when you did the conversion, you paid the taxes on it at that point. So you're not going to pay taxes again if you withdraw from your conversion bucket, but you may pay that 10% early withdrawal penalty. And there are some exceptions to that, like using the money for a first-time home purchase or higher education costs, where you would not pay the penalty. But the last bucket, if you deplete the first two and you're withdrawing from your earnings in the Roth IRA before you're age 59 and a half and they've been in there for 5 years, that bucket could be subject to both income taxes and a 10% early withdrawal penalty. Last thing on the list here is that there are no age requirements to contribute to a Roth IRA. All that you have to have is earned income. So business owners can contribute to Roth IRA for their kids as long as they hire them to do legitimate work and they have income that's reported to the IRS and through their business. You absolutely want to speak to a CPA or a licensed tax professional to make sure this is done correctly. From what I understand, this can be highly scrutinized by the IRS, so to avoid any penalty or run-ins with Uncle Sam, you definitely want to make sure you're doing this properly. But again, the point is that there's no age requirements. All you have to have is reported income to the IRS in order to contribute. So I hope you learned something new today about Roth accounts. Again, if you didn't know them before, you're an expert now. If you like this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.